Hello, this is Andy from CBG, and I'm going to show you around the new Normandy, which is your personal starship in Mass Effect 3. It's the same Normandy as in Mass Effect 2, but the Alliance have stolen it from Cerberus and made a few changes, and I'm going to show you some of them now. The captain's cabin is where we're going to start, and it's pretty much the same as it was last time. You can play music to set the mood. You can access your armor locker to change your casual appearance and also your battle armor. All these bits like helmets and shoulders and arms and legs you find scattered around missions, and you can mix and match them for different stat effects, which you can see on the right there. Also in the captain's cabin you have a fish tank, which starts off empty, but you can buy fish from the Citadel and fill it up. This is the full collection right here that I spent a small fortune on. You can also buy an automatic feeder so they won't die like they did all the time in Mass Effect 2 if you forgot to feed them. There's a ship model collection. There's an extra wall of that this time. Again, all this stuff is completely optional. There's no reason to do it other than just that extra level of immersion if you're a completist and you want to get everything. And there's an ensuite bathroom, but there's no point of going in there. It's just an extra little detail. And that's the captain's cabin. This is the Combat Information Center, or CIC. This is the main deck of the Normandy, and you'll be spending a lot of time here. You can access your emails that NPCs will send you during or after missions. The galaxy map, where you can explore follow-up leads for the story or pick up side missions. You also have Yeoman Trainer here, who replaces Kelly from Mass Effect 2. If you play as Femme Shep, you can romance her, which is a first for the series, same-sex romances.
I had a very compelling example.
We're on our way to the bridge here. On the bridge you can talk to Joker, who again is played by Seth Green and has been around since the very first game. You can also talk to Edie, who is the ship's artificial intelligence, voiced by Battlestar Galactica's Tricia Helfer. It's good to check in with these guys between missions, and also everyone on the ship, because you can unlock new dialogue options, side missions, and even upgrades.
Now's as good a time as any. I'm getting reports of refugee ships from Tiptree landing on Solarian colonies. I don't have names. I'm sorry. It was mostly children.
Now we're on our way to the War Room, which is one of the most important new areas of the new Normandy. One of the most valuable asset in this game is not credits. You always have those in abundance. It is war assets. To get to the War Room, you have to go through the security checkpoint, and these two privates here will comment on the story or have humorous dialogue. Before we get to the War Room, we're in the conference room, and Shepard does a lot of brokering deals between different alien races who hate each other to try and get them to work together to defeat the Reapers, so that gets handled in the conference room. This is the War Room. A lot of the story takes place in here. The battle against the Reapers is sort of coordinated here. That thing in the middle, I won't say what that is because it's kind of spoilery, but you can track the progress of whatever it is by looking at that hologram. The War Assets Terminal shows you how many races and armies you've got on board and you fight against the Reapers. This VID terminal lets you talk to Admiral Hackett and Admiral Anderson, who are kind of like your bosses. Now we're on the crew deck. This memorial wall, you'll see that we've blurred it out because whenever a character dies, they appear on there, and also it shows you who died in your previous save games if you imported them. And this footage was taken really near the end of the game, so it would be a massive spoiler if we showed you that. This is the observation deck where you can talk to Ashley. Depending on various circumstances, she might not be on your team. For example, if you let her die in Mass Effect 1. This is the crew quarters. Nothing really goes on in here, so it's not worth checking in that often. This is life support, and this is where Thane could be found in Mass Effect 2. I didn't see any characters in here. Perhaps they could be DLC or characters who had died in previous games. This is the men's bathroom. There is nothing to see in here. And there's another observation deck here. It's kind of like an R&R sort of area. There's like a gambling table and a little miniature nightclub and some kind of weird massage table. I never saw any characters in here. There was no reason to ever come in here. Maybe again DLC or a character that wasn't in my save game. Now we're heading towards what was once Miranda Lawson's office. It's now been taken over by Liara Tassoni, who you'll remember from Mass Effect 1 as a party member, and from 2 as the Shadow Broker. And she uses this place as her office, as the Shadow Broker, so you can access an intel terminal and spy on people's emails. You can upgrade your characters, so Shepard will find sort of intel on planets and he can use it to upgrade his stats. She's got a VI assistant here as well, you can see. Now we're on our way to the main battery, which is where the Normandy's giant guns are housed. And here you will find none other than Garrus Vakarian, who has been in every Mass Effect so far, and the running joke in the series is that he spends all his time here calibrating the guns, and BioWare really do play up to that joke again in this, perhaps more than previous games. He is also a party member, as is Liara. This is the medical deck, and here you can see Dr. Chakwas, who's been hanging around on the Normandy in its various incarnations since the first game. Here you can reassign your power bonuses and powers, so if you want to respec your character MMO style. This is the server room where EDI is held, her brain basically. You'll find her down here as well sometimes to talk to. And that is the crew deck. This is engineering. This is one of the least visited decks of the new Normandy. If you remember in Mass Effect 2, this area below here is where Jack used to hang out. There's no one down here, so it's kind of pointless. You will find scattered around in certain areas of the ship, including their model ships for the captain's cabin. In engineering, there is one character, that's Engineer Adams. The guy with the terrible Scottish accent from the last game is not here anymore. Engineer Adams has a side mission for you, and once you've completed it, there's no reason to come back here unless you want to look at the FTL drive, which does look very impressive. So yeah, once you've done all the side missions, or the one side mission down here rather, there's no reason to come back. Welcome to the Shuttle Bay. You might remember this area from Mass Effect 1, but it's very different now, and there's a lot more useful things to do in it. First of all, this is where the shuttles are held, that you use to travel from the Normandy to planet surfaces, piloted by Cortez. The weapons bench is new. You can add mods that you find scattered around missions to your weapons. You can look at them at different angles and sort of study them and look at their stats. The more weapons you have, the slower your powers will recharge, so it's best to keep only a couple of weapons on a mission with you. You can upgrade weapons here, and also the procurement interface lets you access any of the shops in the game without having to actually be there. Lieutenant Cortez is a new character, and you can actually romance him, so if you play as male Shepard. And this is James Vega, voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr. of the 90s. He is a new squad member, and he appears to be quite a generic character at first, but once you get to know him, he's actually quite, there's some interesting backstory there. And that is the shuttle bay.